Hey, howdy, hey y'all. For today's video, we are going to be doing a full face of LYS Beauty. I first received an LYS Beauty product in one of my BoxyCharm boxes and absolutely fell in love with the two products that I received. So I purchased all the rest of the products, and today we're going to do a full face. LYS Beauty is the first clean, black-owned beauty brand at Sephora. They are vegan and cruelty-free, and they are all about the complexion. There are no eye products and one lip product. So sit back, relax, get you a beverage of choice. I have an iced coffee in my little owl cup, and let's get right into it. Starting with the primer, it is made for combination to oily skin. It's pore and shine control. Niacinamide that helps reduce the appearance of pores and limited excess shine. Now I have already put on my lotions and potions and serums and all that good stuff. It feels really good. You can tell that it is a gripping primer. It's supposed to be good for your pores, good for acne, good for dark spots. I have used it a couple of times and really enjoyed it. I can see that my hair is going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and get that pulled back out of the way. I am going to be using this Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge for foundation and BB cream, it says. I have never used this before. I don't know why it has glitter. Can you see the glitter? See the little flakes of glitter? I don't know why that's necessary. Hopefully those don't come off on my skin. To make sure your sponge is as dry as possible. I saw the other day where somebody said to wet it before you went to bed, and when you got up in the morning it would be the perfect amount of moisture to it. So now I'm going to go into the foundation, the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I have the shade MN5, which is medium with neutral undertones. And I have not used this, so it will be a first impression. It has a pump. Hopefully this is the right color. It is definitely serum-y. It looks like it's going to be a little dark, but I think this shears out really well. So hopefully we can make it work. Yep, that looks a little dark. I'm sure as the summer goes along, this will be the perfect shade. For the winter, I probably need something a little bit lighter. Normally I set down my primer before I put my foundation on, but I wanted to see how these two play together because I have seen some reviews where this foundation and the primer did not work well together, so I wanted to see, and I'm not having any issues. I don't see any patchiness. I like how it looks kind of dewy. We'll see how that sets down when I use the setting powder. So that's one side with the foundation on it and the other side without. I think that's not a bad color. All of the LYS products are fragrance free. This has no smell to it whatsoever. It doesn't even have that chemical smell. You know how sometimes foundations will have just a little bit of a chemical smell, but this one does not at all. And it has evened out that little blood vessel right there. I don't normally go for a full coverage foundation, but this is supposed to be buildable. It's very lightweight. It feels very comfortable on the skin. So that's one layer. I think it looks really good. Now we're going to go into the concealer. It's a full coverage brightening concealer. I don't normally wear concealer, but I thought I would try it out just in case y'all were curious about how it performs. Just going to put a little bit And I will put a little bit on that little blood vessel to see how that covers. I'm going to let that dry down a little bit. The concealer is supposed to be buildable and very hydrating, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work under my under eyes, because my under eyes will be a little dry and crepey, which is why I normally don't wear concealer, although I don't feel like I have a whole lot in that area that needs to be concealed. I don't really have any darkness. Sometimes I will if I'm really tired, but normally I don't have a lot of darkness there. So I do see some glitter on my face from the sponge, so that's interesting. And so it did cover that really well. It blends out really easy. Does not look cakey. That's another reason why I don't like to wear concealer, because it will make my under eye area look very cakey, and I don't like that. I like for my makeup to look as natural as possible on my face, not so much on my eyes. That blended out really well. It looks nice. It is very hydrating. You can see my whole face looks very glowy. I have oily skin, so I don't know how well this will do for me in the summertime. Very nice. So now let's move on to the powder. I'm not moving on to the powder. I'm moving on to the blush. I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I'm going to be using this higher standard satin matte cream blush. This is in the shade Self Love. So I want to put that on before I put on my powder so that I can set the blush down when I set down my foundation. So I'm going to use the other side of my sponge, and hopefully I didn't get too much. Oh, that's pretty. Very pretty. That blends out nice and easy too. It looks very glowy. We're gonna see what that setting powder does for all this glowiness. And then I'm going to use the Aim High Multi-Use Liquid Highlighter, and it is safety sealed, which is nice. And I'm just going to put a little of that on the back of my hand. This is in like a champagne, I think. Is that like a champagne? It's very pretty. And then I'm just going to use another clean side of my sponge and just tap that over the blush. I am so glowy that I don't know if you can really see that. I am very glowy. Y'all just need to stick around and find out how this ends. That's really nice too. I like that. I like my highlighters. Put the rest of that on my nose. And now we're going to use the Triple FX Translucent Setting Powder. This is Resilience, and it is in the shade Translucent. And I'm going to take this little foundation brush so that I can use that to set under my eyes. Make sure there's no creasing. I don't see any creasing. And that set down really nice. Just going to set down my T-zone. See the difference? And then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush to set down the rest of my face. And that set that down nice. Got rid of all of that shiny. Now I feel like I need a little bit more blush. Let's put down just a little bit more blush. What do you think? Now I wanted to do the blush first because it is a cream and I'm going to put my bronzer over top of it so that y'all know that you can put your bronzer over top of your blush. You don't have to go in any specific order. So next we're going into this No Limits matte bronzer, and it is Motivate, and it is a light shade. And I received this bronzer in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, I believe. I love this bronzer. It is amazing. This is what got me interested in the brand. Did I tell you what LYS stands for? LYS stands for Love Yourself, which y'all know I love that. Look at how pretty that is. I just love this bronzer. This bronzer is a staple on my vanity. I mean, I have makeup products in and out all the time, trying and testing and all the things. But this bronzer does not leave my vanity. I love it. It is my go-to. I absolutely love it. Such a pretty bronzer, and it just gives just the right amount of warmth to my face. I love it. And rather than put foundation on my neck and on my ears, I normally will just use the bronzer. I like to use it to contour out my chin and then just kind of pull it down my neck so that everything kind of blends in together. LYS also has this Aim High Pressed Highlighter Powder. This is genuine, and it is in rose gold. It's very, very pretty. It looks to be beaming. Yeah. That's very pretty. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my cheeks. I am going to use my Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty A506, which is a under eye concealer brush. I love it as a highlighter brush. I think it just does a wonderful job putting my highlighter on. Now, of course, I could go crazy with this and just really make it beaming, but I just want to do a nice, soft, kind of natural look today. I forgot to put bronzer on my nose. I always like to put some bronzer on my nose. And then my highlight. And then just take whatever's left over and hit the high points. That's a very pretty, if you put it on right, it's just nice and subtle, I think. This would make a very good topper for your eyeshadows or an inner corner highlight, and we're going to test that. So if you were just trying to do a nice, natural, quick look, you could just take the bronzer and put some of that on your eyes, just to give you a little color. And then you can just take the highlighter on a little brush. I'm going to use this little rougher brush. And just use that as your inner corner highlight. And so to try out the lip oil, I'm just going to go in with a lip liner, and I have these new Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Sculpting lip liners. I have Kelly and Chris. These have lip liner on one end and a brush on the other. I don't know that these are going to help with my all-natural look because they look a little dark, but let's see. I was very intrigued by these when I saw them. You just take the brush and feather them on out. That's really pretty. I like that. I like how you can blend that out and you don't have that harsh line. The LYS Beauty Speak Love Glossy Lip Treatment Oil. It says treat your lips to extra TLC with this cushiony lip treatment packed with natural oils and soothing hydrators that leave behind a non-sticky glossy finish that's simply irresistible. This is what the applicator looks like, which is very interesting. It's not sticky at all, and it looks really good with this lip liner. I like it, and I'm not a glossy person. I'm not real crazy about lip gloss, but with this being an oil, I think I like it. That looks really pretty. Let's take the hair down. So here's the final look. I think it looks really good. I am noticing that I'm having a little bit of breakup here in this area. I did set it down with some setting spray and went back over it with the powder. That didn't seem to help. I'm not sure if it's the primer, like other people have said that they've had issues with the primer. I have not had issues with the primer with other foundations, but this is the first time I've used it with this one, so it will be interesting to try this foundation again with a different primer, with one that I know works for my skin. Products work differently on different people because of your skin, I'm telling you. It's not necessarily that it's the product. I mean, some products just are not all that great, but it could be that the products just do not work together on your skin. So if you have a product and it's not working the way you think it should, try it with a different primer or with a different setting powder to see if you get a different result. I put on some eyeliner. I used my Mirabella eyeliner. I used my Maybelline Sky High mascara and my Kosas eyebrow gel, and I like the foundation. I'm interested to try it again, and the concealer, because I think the concealer did well. I think something is not meshing well together, but I want to try the foundation and the concealer again using a different primer, and I'll use the powder, the LYS powder, and see if that might be the issue. I'll try different things and I'll give y'all an update after I have used them for a while. This is a first impression, except for the bronzer. I have been using the bronzer. I love it. I love how it looks on my eyes. It's been quite a while since I have just done a very basic natural eye look with just bronzer and eyeliner and mascara. I think it looks really nice. I will leave all the products linked down below in case you're interested in checking them out. It is a very affordable brand. I love their products. I love what they stand for. I love what LYS stands for. Love yourself. I think that that is absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed my video, show that like button some love, and as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today, pull your makeup out and play with it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye. Christopher, I'm sure you're probably sitting there going, LYS, LYS. love your son, right? Or you're going, love your spider, because I know how you love your spiders. Mama's not loving the spiders, but I can't think of anything silly LYS related with fishing. So I'll love my son, you love your spiders, and we'll go on with our lives, okay? Mama loves you, boo.